I've been having some sort of like out of body experiences.
Hmm.
Um, I was sleeping, and I'd been asleep for maybe like an hour or two, and I was getting into like my REM sleep, and I remember like my dream was very peculiar. So I was driving my car, and I was in a parking lot, like a parking complex, and I was like coming out of like a concert or something, and there was a police officer, and he started waving my car, and I was going into a different direction than like where I was going to, and as I turned, I went into this strange landscape. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the game Destiny.
I am very, very familiar with that game, unfortunately, and will be going home tonight to prep my builds for tomorrow's release of Edge of Fate.
Oh, all right, man. All right. So
You weren't
you'll
expecting
probably
that,
like
were
this.
you?
Oh, not at all. Not at all, man.
Yes, I am a
Yeah.
hunter main.
Oh, nice, dude. I was a Titan man.
Nice. Yeah, the old crayon eating guys.
Oh, dude, yeah.
The joke is Titans are crayon eaters. That's it. Super strong but super dumb. I'm not saying you are, but you know that's how it goes in the game.
Oh yeah, man. Too big to be wrong, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, actually, so the area that I went into when I was driving my car looked like the Garden of Salvation,
That's a great
which
map.
you would be, I guess you would only be the only one that kind of would understand what that is. But basically, it's like imagine sort of like a techno area that has like vegetation, but it's like meshed in with machines and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm all of a sudden I'm out of my car, and then as time goes on, like I started noticing how real everything was, and then that was like the moment where I like woke up in my dream, and I realized I was like, oh my God, like I'm not in my room right now, like, and it was peculiar, and all of a sudden I started like crunching on leaves. I was like stepping on the leaves, and I could hear the sounds of the leaves crunching, and I like the light was getting like super bright. It was completely surreal. And then right as things were like kind of crescendoing, there was all of a sudden there were like these like bugs, like gnats and flies flying around, and like one got in my mouth. And I immediately thought of, did you guys ever see John Wick? Or not John Wick. Yeah, that's the Garden of Salvation.
Yeah, I'm going through a few pictures of it for people that don't know about this game. Beautiful
Yeah,
game.
so like literally that was like, it's almost like one for one what it looked like when I was in this space. Which I don't know if that was just something that my subconscious drew upon, or because like I don't think that like I like left my body. I think I was like still in my body, but like my mind was somewhere else. But anyway, I guess so. So anyway, there's these bugs, and all of a sudden they're like kind of attacking me, and I knew all of a sudden that there was like another presence there with me, and I remember hearing myself like in my room saying like demon, and the only reason I said that is because in it's like Keanu Reeves movie Constantine.
I love that movie. I just watched that last week, actually.
Dude, such a classic.
They need to make another one of those. That movie was great.
They're actually filming a second. Well, I think they're supposed to be filming a second.
I heard they were
one.
supposed to be, but I haven't heard anything since, so I'm a little skeptical. But hopefully, Rachel Weisz returns. Love that woman. Total babe.
Yeah, she's the one. Yana's one of the greatest.
There's that scene in there where there's like a where he has like the little screamers, and there's like that demon that pops out, and it like takes the form of a bunch of like bugs and stuff.
Yep.
And so that's what I thought of immediately. And so I like hear myself say demon, and all of a sudden I snap out of the dream. And as soon as I open my eyes, you know what it looks like when you're looking at something and then you like close your eyes and then you can kind of see the outline of it in your eyelids.
Yep.
So as soon as I like closed my eyes, or sorry, as soon as I opened my eyes, I looked up and it looked like the outline of, I shit you not, like the the girl from The Ring.
Ugh.
Yeah, and so
Gross.
anyway, I literally let out a like the most girlish scream of my entire life.
You want to recreate
Uh,
that right now for us?
oh, absolutely.
No.
Ah!
That's awesome. Yeah, I wouldn't like to see that. That sounds scary. It's weird. We had a caller named Ring just a few calls ago, right?
Yeah, that was the last caller that we had on. Was actually their name on Zoom was Ring.
Weird. So you see the girl from The Ring climbing through your eyes. How's that going?
It was terrifying, man. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
But as soon as I screamed, she like disappeared.
Hmm.
And she was like floating above my bed. And it's weird because she looked like an outline, but I saw her very like, so I couldn't tell if it was like something was actually there or if I was maybe just like still like kind of dreaming still. I don't know.
And were you back in your room at that point?
Yeah. So I'd opened my eyes and I was back in my room.
Interesting. So it's like your second time waking up, but the first real time.
Yeah.
And what happened next? Or you said she disappeared, or that was it?
Yeah. Well, so she disappeared, and so I mean, I guess this kind of connects to like a couple different. I think so. I kind of like my theory is that I think she's like a dark passenger I have.
Can you explain
There
that?
was, yeah. So like there was a time. So I want to say back in college. I was like one of my first times doing acid.
Yep.
Uh, I went out and for some reason, like I was kind of having a bad trip, and I had the brilliant idea to go to the woods
Yep.
in the middle of the night by myself,
Mhm.
which actually turned out to be a pretty peaceful experience because I found like a nice little patch of dirt, and then I was like looking up and I could see through the trees and like I could see the stars. It actually ended up being like a pretty peaceful night.
Right.
But I think when I was there that night, I like picked up something and brought it home with me. Because like a few years later, I was hanging out with like a crazy uncle I have, and he's very much into like shamanic stuff, burning sage. He's like kind of a clairvoyant, um, and it was wild, man, because we were sitting there, we were smoking weed in his apartment, and all of a sudden he kept like looking behind us, and I was like, what's going on, man? He's like, I keep seeing a shadow dart back and forth. And he was like, it's only been here since you came here.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Yeah, it was not it's definitely not reassuring. But I've had like some strange encounters, and then so I guess kind of tying this back to more recently, I want to say maybe a couple weeks after this initial encounter, same thing happened. I was in my bed and I was about an hour into my sleep, and I could feel myself starting to kind of like wake up again in my dream. And then the same thing happened. Like there was like a bug or something. It came and like flew in my mouth, and I knew she was back. And so I like kind of go to wake up, but I kind of had like some sleep paralysis. So I was like, as I come out of my dream, I could feel myself back in my body, but I couldn't really move. And then all of a sudden, I felt like there was like someone in the bed with me, and I felt like they were like spooning me.
Whoa.
Big spoon?
I was actually Little Spoon.
Okay. Oh man. So
Yikes.
that's
Yeah, so they were, yeah.
yeah, that's not fun. I mean, so and you felt like it was the same type of girl, the ring girl?
I don't know if it was her necessarily, because it definitely felt like a bigger entity. But it was the same sort of like thing that happened where I was like leaving my body, I guess, like kind of lucid dreaming, and then all of a sudden there's like these bugs that fly around, and like one flies in my mouth, and then all of a sudden I know it's like like a bad spirit.
You're describing Hillary Clinton.
Is your dark passenger Hillary Clinton?
It's gotta
Oh,
be. It's
Oh,
gotta be.
dude,
I've heard
that's
this description
tough.
before. It was Hill Dog.
That's
oh
tough.
God.
The flies showing up, the bugs showing up before the entities is a crazy image. That is interesting. And why do you think it was something in the woods that day? Like, are you seeing images of the woods in these out of body experience, or is it just like a feeling you have that when you went out there that night, you picked up something?
It's more of like a feeling that like when I was out there, I picked up something.
Mm.
I couldn't really tell you. I didn't really see anything that night, but it was kind of like, and I feel like because I was on acid and like I was a little bit more, I guess, open on a different wavelength.
Right.
That maybe I encountered something because I was more elevated.
I think drugs open up portals.
Well, it could be too, because like recently I've been like microdosing mushrooms.
Okay.
Um,
This is not helping with the dark passengers.
I think I don't know.
Or is it? Or is it?
It's I can't tell, man. I can't tell. I'm kind of wondering if it's like that's what's opening me up. Um,
I mean, I had to
yeah.
stop doing all that stuff because I felt like I was inviting things into my life that I did not need.
Well, in the movie Friday, Chris Tucker accidentally smokes angel dust and ends up in a chicken coop scratching himself and looking at bugs all over him in a
real.
wife beater. So, I mean,
That's real.
they've been known to make people think that there are bugs all over them before. That's
true.
for sure.
That's true. Do you believe that these, or you? Well, it sounds like there might be two, but maybe it's one. Do you believe the dark passenger is negatively affecting your life, or not at all, or positively?
I think. I mean, so I think she shows up in like times of turmoil, perhaps. And I don't think she's powerful enough to like actually affect me in I don't know, because there's a lot of nights where like I have pretty bad insomnia. And so there'll be nights like when I'll go to bed and I'll wake up in the morning and like I'll have like lights turned on and like I'll just everything kind of be like in a disarray. And so I'm wondering if maybe those are encounters I have, that I don't remember.
Do you sleepwalk?
So, I don't. No.
So the insomnia is just struggling to sleep. You don't have any or as a child, did you have any like night terrors or anything like that?
Yeah. So I used to have night terrors. Still kind of do. So
Those are
that's
crazy.
like where. Sorry, what?
So I was just saying those are really crazy. I have a
Yeah.
son who has night terror or had night terrors, and they are very interesting to have to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, I like kind of there was like my night terrors had sort of like a central, I guess, my nightmares, because you don't really remember your night terrors,
Right.
but they sort of had like a central theme. It had more to do with like my psychology, like the inner workings of my mind, than it did like spiritual entities.
Okay.
And the interesting thing with this is that I can count on my left hand probably the amount of times that I've lucid dreamed. And these encounters only happen when I like start to kind of like wake up in my dreams. So it kind of gives me the sense that like I don't know, it feels like, because I mean I'm sort of a believer that there is like extra dimensions, multiple things happening outside of our awareness, as I think many people, especially people here, believe.
Sure.
But I think that like what's happening is like I'm when I'm lucid dreaming, I'm kind of going somewhere else and then tapping into that sort of wavelength, and then these beings, whoever they are, if they've been following me, they're kind of like aware that I'm aware of them now, and that's why they're like making themselves known to me.
Right.
That
The arrival with the flies and stuff, like, do they have to make it so creepy?
yeah, I mean
Like,
that's
why you
the
gotta do
thing.
a bug in my mouth? I'm not cool with that.
Yeah.
He definitely touched on something with the experience and not being able to see the whole picture. I do agree with that. I'm gonna cite one of Shane's favorite bands, Incubus, has that song where they talk about the charged electromagnetic spectrum, and since the initial publication of it, that what humans believe that they can touch, smell, see, and hear is less than 1/1,000,000th of actual reality,
Right. Such a good sample. I have to listen to that.
which is intense to think
Yeah.
about.
No, I think something is going on in our dreams that we can't explain. People who lucid dream, I don't think I've lucid dreamed ever, but I talk to people about lucid dreaming a lot, or going into the astral plane. And people who go to the astral plane, they talk a lot extensively about meeting these other entities. Some of them do worry, the ones I've talked to worry that they bring them back. That's why I asked if you thought it was affecting you negatively or positively. I personally haven't heard any positive stories from people who've been to similar places, whether in dreams or the astral plane. But yeah, I've been listening to people talk about drugs and how they can open up people. It's really not so much shrooms. The drugs I've been listening to people talk about that open up portals to bad things are like really hard, gross drugs like meth, and all those things like crocodile and over the counter stuff, pills, that open up these things inside of us. But I do feel like elevating yourself with some of these substances do make you vulnerable to things, whatever they are. And I caution against it. At least I had to caution against it. I had to stop doing it because I felt like I was getting inundated with terrible things.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. I think you have to be you should definitely guard yourself. You know, and it's interesting, like in psychedelic communities, that I don't think they talk about like that aspect of it enough.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe some of it's like woo woo, maybe it's all just, kind of made up. Um,
Well,
but
people
yeah.
there's a long story of people seeing things. I mean, you talk about people taking DMT and seeing the machine elves. It's something's happening when you're taking these substances in different ways.
I
But
mean, even general anesthesia
yes.
too. There's a lot of talk. I know when I was a kid and I was going through all those operations,
Yep.
my mom told me a story about me talking about seeing a man walking around on the ceiling when I was in
Wow.
recovery, still on the anesthesia. I don't remember any of that shit personally, but she said you would not. You were looking at the ceiling and pointing, and you said there's a guy up there and he's just walking around. And I honestly can't remember it, if I'm being honest, but that
Right.
creeped me the fuck out because I was like, what? Like, I saw what?
That's creepy.
So, yeah, man.
Um,
Drugs are bad.
But do you feel like now that you're microdosing, you said it might be helping with this?
Yeah, I haven't had any experiences for the last couple months.
Hmm.
And it's funny actually. So Paul Statements was just on Joe Rogan.
Yep.
And he's like a mycologist and very big in the field of psychedelics and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he was talking about his protocol, one of his best protocols for microdosing, which is to take like a microdose or a museum dose right before you go to bed, which is kind of what I've been following. And I've been having like, I don't know if it's been affecting my dreams in the same way, but I haven't had any of those experiences kind of since I started doing that. So I don't know. It's interesting. Like, I don't know if that's like a buffer or if it's maybe my mind is just like doing something different when I'm asleep.
Right. That's
So
interesting. Well, yeah, there's also lots of studies out there about people doing microdosing and stuff to help with certain PTSD and stuff, and other traumatic things.
Mhm.
And it seems to really be helping a lot of like the soldiers and stuff
And
So,
mushrooms alone are showed to have like
Yeah.
holistic and healing properties and stuff like that too. And I'm not talking about that matcha shit that you buy on Facebook. Like I'm talking about actual, mushrooms.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think it's everyone's different. I have to stop, but I've been hearing, I hear these stories from soldiers who have seen some crazy stuff and are microdosing or taking shrooms, bigger doses, and it's helping them in their trauma, which is a crazy thing. So, I mean, yeah, you should call back and let us know if any other out of body experiences happen, or if you see the ring person again, if you think you've helped yourself. I hope it's the case. I hope you don't have to deal with it again.
Yeah, me too, man.
That'd be amazing, because sleep paralysis is not fun.
Yeah, sleep paralysis and just all the sleep shit.
Waking up inside of your dream, bugs in your mouth. None of that stuff's fun.
Well, being in the Garden of Salvation in my dream was pretty cool.
That looked nice. Yes.
that'd be good.
That looks nice.
Waking up and being spooned by Hillary Clinton, not so good.
Yeah, sorry about
Help
that.
me out on that.
That's when I know I'm cooked, boys.
Well, have a good night, man. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks for calling in.